Ten things every Phantom Forces player should know. Number 1, whenever you're going around corners, super jump to throw the enemy's aim off and or drop shot. This is a big thing that not a lot of people do, that it really sets the good players from the great players. Okay, if you're jumping around corners, throwing their aim off, anything you can to draw off the enemy's aim. Okay, super jumping is a fantastic way to do that, and honestly drop shotting is pretty good too. Okay, anything you can do to throw a player's aim off is going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, number 2, a nice simple one for all the new players: how to super jump. You're going to press W, shift, space, and then Z, or space and then X. Okay, if you time it up correctly, you should super jump. Okay, so pressing down W, holding the shift button down, and then we're going to go space X. If we go space Z, it should do the exact same thing. I like to do space Z just because my my ring finger moves a little bit better. It just works out a little bit better from where you, but you need, if you want to be good at Phantom Forces, you need to know how to super jump. That's like one of the basic things, and that's what sets you apart. Okay, learn to super jump. Number 3, these bars at the bottom right here, they don't mean jack squat. Okay, don't pay attention to those stat bars. They really don't mean anything. Those stat bars don't mean a single thing. If you pay attention to those and try to get better stats on that, you're not gonna have a good loadout for your gun. Okay, I can tell you that. I've noticed a couple people have been thinking that that makes a difference, and it really does not. So do not pay attention to the stat bars. It's only gonna mislead you. You'll thank me later. It's very misleading, but it doesn't change anything about the gun. If I have better accuracy bars or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, don't let the stat bars draw you astray. Okay, number 4, muzzle brake is good for vertical recoil. Compensator is good for horizontal recoil. So at your AKs and some of your SMGs, you're gonna want a compensator, but any gun like this M16 or any gun that has vertical recoil, you're going to want to go with a muzzle brake. It'll help the vertical recoil a lot. Okay, compensator on the AK, just because it drifts side to side. If you shoot and your gun goes side to side like this, you want a compensator. If you shoot and your gun just sticks up down, you want a muzzle brake. Okay, that is very big. That will help you deck out your guns, and you'll be a lot better of a player. Number 5, the optics you have on your guns doesn't change the recoil. Okay, I can't stress this enough. Our reflex sight here has a less of a zoom than the coyote sight. So if we aim down sights with our coyote sight and we shoot, it's gonna look like it has more recoil, but it's just because the sight has a bigger magnification. Okay, ACOG, you zoom in a little bit more. That's like a 4 times. Obviously it's gonna look like you have better greater recoil, but you really don't. It's just the times on your scope. Okay, like this is the same recoil as that coyote we just shot. It's just the optic we have. It doesn't change the recoil of the gun at all. This is why you see a lot of people with DCLs and the Plagan sight, and that's because they're true one-time sights. Okay, they're gonna look visually like they have the least amount of recoil there, but it's just because they're zoomed out compared to everything else. Number 6, just because you have an empty ammo slot doesn't mean you should click on whatever ammo. Okay, this ammo here is very situational. You have to know what you're going into, what type of battle you're going into, and what you need to better equip yourself for that battle. Okay, Just because I have like 223 unlocked doesn't mean I should just equip it, okay? The ammo category is specific to map and needs of the player. They drastically changed the gun. You shouldn't just blindly equip it, because you're gonna end up A, having a worse gun, or B, having a close quarter gun for long range or something like that, okay? It doesn't just, like, just because you have an open slot doesn't mean you should just select something, okay? Sometimes it's better to run default than to have armor piercing or something like that, okay? Number 7, Hollowpoint is great close quarters, and that's all, okay? If you're in a close quarters map and you have like an SMG and you want to pick up better body damage, throw on Hollowpoint. It's great for close quarters, but it does fall off mid to long range. The damage of the gun drops a heck of a lot, and that would be the only time I would use Hollowpoint. Close quarter engagements, use Hollowpoint in close quarters engagements, okay? Nothing else. Number 8, if you're trying to save up credits, don't gamble it on cases, okay? You will 100% of the time lose money. 100% of the time you will lose money, okay? Commons only go for like 35 credits, and that case, you got 50 credits right there, so we already lost money. And then the key is another 100, so 100% of the time you will lose credits. So do not, if you're trying to save up credits, do not gamble on the cases, because end of the day you will always lose credits. Number 9, if you want a guaranteed FPS increase, disable lobby gun models. This is one of the biggest things to improve your FPS in game, okay? On average you get anywhere from like 10 FPS to 15 FPS. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but this is very drastic and it doesn't affect the game at all, but it saves a lot of frames, okay? So if you want fantastic frames, disable that, okay? Another thing you can do that a lot of people do, disable ragdolls. It helps out a little bit too. We have actually a video on best FPS in game, so if you want to check that out, hey. Number 10, pay attention to your weapon's velocity, okay? The slower the velocity, the slower the bullet, okay? So this Dire Scout 2700, W2000, 3000. These two guns, you're gonna have to lead more than you would like the TRG. So the slower the velocity, the more you're gonna have to lead. So pay attention to your weapon velocity. It will make a huge difference. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 10 things every Phantom Forces player should know. Let me know, did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. If you're new, hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. But hey, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you later. Peace.